right, another exciting time it is to be back right here on the Football Gazette podcast. Well, you know how we do things here. This is where we dissect and analyze every issue going on in the world of football. My name is Muyiwa Joshua. You can call me MJ for short, and you will be definitely spot on. Well, I've got with me a regular J in the building today in person of Adeshola. Good morning to you. How are you?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good
Everything,
every yeah,
wherever you might be. So
everywhere
I think
good.
that cuts across everywhere good, as you said. It's barely 10 days to the African Cup of Nation,
Hmm.
and we're not feeling the vibes. Nigerians generally are not enthusiastic to have that in front of their screens. I guess the handwriting is boldly written on the wall. It
Mm,
boils down to the disappointment of missing out on the FIFA World Cup. Would
exactly.
you blame
You
football
said it all.
fans in Nigeria?
You,
I don't think so. Because there's this popular saying that goes by to whom much is given, much is actually expected. Nigerian football lovers. I don't think they are expecting much from Super Eagles this time around after that disappointment against the
it's
RO
not even
Congo.
about expecting much. I think it's about the disappointment that came with missing out on the 2026 World Cup. So, the excitement that
Mm,
should be there for football fans, for Super Eagles lovers, uh, that event has literally died down the excitement for the upcoming AFCON. And
okay.
if you look the way things are for Super Eagles right now, I think the only thing the team can do right now in the AFCON is to just do the wonders and probably win the AFCON. I
Do
think
one better than the
I
last
think
time out.
I think winning the AFCON would bring back the excitement, would bring back the joy that Nigerian football lovers get whenever they watch the Super Eagles of Nigeria, because we can't sugarcoat it. Missing out 2026 World Cup is the lowest Super Eagles could have, dish out for the football fans of Nigeria. And AFCON, they just have to go out and win it. And that's just the only acceptable result for football fans here in Nigeria. Super Eagles, they have to win the AFCON.
You know, Adeshola, that's where we're going to be starting the talking point from today. Do you actually think the Super Eagles, the present Super Eagles setup, have what it takes to do one better than their last outing in Ivory Coast? You know, they were in the final of the last edition where eventually they lost narrowly to Cote d'Ivoire in that final. Now, you're saying the only compensation they can compensate Nigerian football lovers out there is to do one better than the last time, and that's winning the trophy. Do you think this present Super Eagles setup have it in them to actually win a trophy as highly coveted as the African Cup of
I
Nations?
think that question is very tricky, but looking at the sheets, the lineup, those who will be representing Nigeria at the
Hmm.
AFCON has been released.
Well, you
And
saw that yesterday, right?
I saw that.
Well,
And
we are getting into that right away.
and looking at what we have on paper, I think forward should be able to win us the AFCON. But uh, where the major concern is the midfield pairing, the creativity part for the Super Eagles. How are the attackers gonna get the service for them to actually give us what we want? I
Yeah.
think that's where my own concern is, the creativity part of the Super Eagles team. With the likes of Alex Iwobi, would they be turning up and making this tournament of their own? Because we've seen tournaments where players
Mm.
they actually make it their own. So
Yeah.
my expectation is for the likes of Alex Iwobi to just make this AFCON their own tournament and dish out the creativity that Super Eagles has been lacking in that midfield. I think if the coach
Mm.
Eric Chale can actually work on the creativity part of the Super Eagles, I think it will be an exciting tournament for Super Eagles of
You know, I
Nigeria.
would agree with you. The midfield is a part of the field setup where we've always had issues, especially when it comes to our creativity. Over the years, it didn't just start today. I think the last creative midfield we actually had was the days of JJ
We
Okocha.
still have
And
Iwobi.
you
Okocha's
know,
cousin.
I don't know, but in past games now, the likes of Iwobi, of Wilfred Ndidi haven't been on top of their game for the Super Eagles of Nigeria like you would ordinarily see with Fulham and Besiktas in Turkey. You know, I'm not actually saying these guys are not being patriotic enough. It's what we see. we would definitely talk about. But I think something is missing when it comes to donning the green and white jersey of the Nigerian Super Eagles with these players. You see them all over the place in Europe for their club sites, but whenever it comes to playing for the Super Eagles, what do you get? I mean, you get the barest
I
minimum.
think the competitiveness we have up front, we don't have it in the midfield. I think that's one of the
Yeah,
problem.
exactly. I think that's the problem because it
We
looks
have
as though some people are looking
we,
over comfortable, too comfortable in the midfield,
that's the point.
and it shouldn't be like that.
And when there is no competition in squad,
It
in
gives room for
lineup,
mediocrity.
not even mediocrity, it gives room for people not, not putting out their best.
Exactly.
It might not be
Being
mediocrity,
nonchalant.
but to just be like, make I just do and make I dey go. So there is no energy. Like when you see someone on the sheet that can actually bench you, I think you want to put your
Mhm.
extra effort in whatever you are doing. So I'm not saying these guys are not putting effort in what they are doing, the midfielders, but when there is competition,
Mhm.
players tend to put extra effort in what they do. And that lack of competitiveness in the midfield for Super Eagles, I think that's been part of the major problem. That so we just put our lineup, it's the same faces we've been seeing and the same result we've been seeing. Not that they are not playing, they will play, they will be on the field, they will do whatever they
Let me
can.
sharp play.
But the extra effort that should be there, that the fighting spirit that should be there in the midfield is not there, and it's showing. Look at our attack. Look at how stark our attack is,
But
and
then
looking at the
they
midfield.
lack the feeding from the midfield. The creativity is not there.
Exactly,
And
that's the point.
I think that's where we are really going to suffer right there in Morocco. You know, aside from the midfield, injury is another thing we need to talk about. When you
Hmm.
take a look at the invited players, I mean, you begin to wonder what we're going to Morocco to do exactly with the lineup we have. When you take a look at the retired William Troost-Ekong out of the setup,
That's
Olainor
one major blow
injured,
for us.
Frederick Benjamin. I mean, you know, that's another guy who's been on top of his game for the past couple of games now. Is going to be missing out on this one due to injury. So I think the defense is another part we should be really worried about. Because
Yeah. We should be worried about the defense too, because you said we'll still come back to the names that has been called up to represent Nigeria at the AFCON.
mhm,
But looking at the guys that are missing out, I looked at the list. I did not see Frederick Benjamin, and I'm wondering, oh, this guy has been turning up for us in our defense. Even when we missed out on the World Cup qualifiers, this guy was on
he was still
fire.
on top of his game then. He gave his all.
He was on fire for the Super Eagles in
Mhm.
the qualifiers, and these guys not being part of the squad, he kind of gave me it's giving me kind of concern for the defense. Like, oh, this guy missing out, and these guys, this guy Frederick that we're talking about, he was part of the team while Trust Ekong was out, and people were hoping, oh, this is kind of like a replacement for the captain
Mhm.
of the team. Then
But now he
now
himself,
before they announced the team, um
William
Ekong
Troost-Ekong,
has announced his retirement. Now the list is out. The player that we are all seeing as replacement for Ekong is also missing out on the list. I think this part is also a concern for us as football lovers in Nigeria. Like, who is going to turn up for us like Frederick Benjamin has done in the past couple of games. Like this guy, we know this is attribute of Trust Ekong. He always turn up for us in the defense.
prime
Now,
Troost-Ekong this time around.
now we have Frederick. Now we are missing both in the team. No Ekong, no Frederick Benjamin.
Olainor
Who is
missing
going to step up in that central
defense.
defense
Okay.
for the Super Eagles of Nigeria? All I know is another major blow for Super Eagles. We all know what this guy is capable of. We all know what he did in the previous Afcon.
Yeah.
Although the final was not all that for him, but we all saw what he did subsequently
I mean, his
in the
quality on a
tournament.
normal day.
His quality is top notch. Wing back for Super Eagles. So missing out for Ola to is another major blow for Super Eagles. So you are looking at names that are missing out for Super Eagles, and we are looking at the position that they are playing. I think it calls for major concern. Like, if it is one attacker that is out, I will not be concerned like
Bothered
this.
that much.
We have
You know, I
plenty of
think
them that can
the
fill up the
the
space.
array of players we have missing really calls for concerns. As though the defensive part isn't concerning enough. One major name has been kept out missing from the goalkeeping position now. Maduka Okoye won't be in Morocco for Nigeria Super Eagles. I mean, it's looking as though Stanley Nwabali might not actually be in between the sticks for Nigeria. But then we have a certain Francis Uzoho,
well,
who
I'm still,
Nigerians have
I'm
a
still,
very terrible memories
I'm still of
of
the
him.
opinion that Omabali will still be the first choice goalkeeper.
Hopefully, he was called up
Come
despite the
AFCON.
injury.
Despite the injury, I think maybe the coach is planning, or maybe they are looking
But Adishola, would you
towards.
rather have a player, a goalkeeper, play with injury, where you can actually have someone who is on top of his game for his club side?
I think
Feed him his shoes.
the issue with Maduka Okoye missing out on the list is the fact that I read something online that it's just getting his stick back for his club Udinese, and
I don't know if you watch them.
taking
Maduka Okoye plays week in, week out
he plays week in
in
week out.
Italy.
He plays week in week out. But another thing is, I believe he cannot be thrown like that into the Super Eagles starting lineup. He has been missing out for Super Eagles for more
For a very
than
long time. So
2 3 years now.
what would you
So
say for Francis Uzoho?
so for Francis, though, he's not getting the number one shirt. I'm kind of sure about that.
I mean,
For
I think you
Nwabali
can't
to
be
make
so
the
sure
list,
because I think Stanley
for
Nwabali.
Nwabali to make the list with his injury, I think it has one meaning. Before the tournament starts, he's going to be fit. That's the only explanation that the coaching crew can give me, and I will accept that. Okay, this is the reason why they call up Stanley
Oh,
Nwabali.
well,
if
hopefully.
that's not the reason, and they are open to be starting a certain Francis Uzo, aside now, no, they want you.
Well, you still remember the memories
I
from
beg, I don't
the
want to be traumatized.
2022 World Cup
I don't
qualifiers
want to be traumatized. Uzo
against
has
the Black
traumatized
Stars
us.
of Ghana. I mean, one Nigerian football fans will never forget in a hurry. And I really don't know, but then it is what it is.
It
The
is what it
NFF
is.
released the list, and Francis Uzoho, some way, somehow, sneaked his way.
He
into
will
the
he will still be there. Maybe second choice, third choice goalkeeper, but for that number one position,
list.
still Stanley Nwabali.
Now let's go to the attacking setup where we have the biggest of names. We have Victor Osimhen. We have who is that again?
Chukwueze,
Yeah,
Ademola
Samuel
Lookman.
Chukwueze. We have a lot of them.
I think
But
the
Victor,
names that are missing out. I'm not even concerned about Victor Boniface.
okay,
He
that's
has not.
what I was going to
Boniface
say
has not been on top of his game in
for
the
the
past.
Super
In the
Eagles of
past,
Nigeria. Even
not even for the Super Eagles.
for his club too.
In the club side too, he
Yeah.
has not really been performing, and for you to get a call up for AFCON,
So
you
I
have
think
to,
probably
you,
he's
you have to
taking
be
a
on top of the
full-time
game.
comedy career.
The name I think is missing out, and I want to ask a question: why is Tolu Arokodare? I want to ask a question: why this guy is not is not call up? Because this guy, the previous call up is hard. Whenever he came on the game,
Yeah.
there's this energy in him. Like he kind of brings some sort of
Pursue down
dynamic
balls, yeah.
into our attack. Whenever the energy is down and Tolu Arokodare comes on, then the energy comes up again in our attack. And I'm wondering why the NFF did not include this guy. Maybe I don't know their plans. Maybe
Yes,
someone might
as
pull
much
out.
as
There might
much
be a
as
late call up, but like with the way it's looking, I think this is the list that will be going to the AFCON with. So for Tolu to be missing out on this list, I want to ask a question like, why is this guy not on the list for us?
you know,
Why?
as much
Why?
as much as I would want to agree with his omission due to his playing time, limited playing time, right there with Wolverhampton Wanderers, but still, I would want to say Tolu Alorokodare on a normal day is still steps ahead of some names on that list.
It's not even about steps ahead. It's about we watch these guys, we watch them play for
What
Super
they
Eagles,
bring in on a normal
and
day
their
into football
contribution,
matches.
not even to football matches generally, their contribution to the national team. Whenever they are in the game, whenever we are in the game, and there is low level of energy in our attack, and Tolu Arokodare comes on, there's this fighting spirit, there's this energy, and eventually we score. So I believe this guy, even if it's for us to see game out, like, oh, just be there, be disrupting the defense, don't let them rest,
He
be
does
giving them
that
tough
so
time.
well.
He does that so well. So this guy missing out for us. Why? I don't know.
Well, I guess that's $1 million question. Only the Nigerian Football Federation will provide answers to in due time. Hopefully, the guys that has been shortlisted to represent the country will do themselves all form
Hopefully.
of good and paint
And
themselves
win
in
the
glory,
AFCON.
especially
That's the
for
only acceptable
football
thing
fans
for
at
me.
home.
Win
So,
the
what's your
AFCON, I beg.
expectation for that Mondial? You said
You're
winning
asking
the
me
trophy.
again. Win the AFCON.
Win the AFCON or
That's the only
nothing.
acceptable.
Isn't that asking for too much?
I'm not asking for too much. Like the last edition, we are runner up.
Hmm.
So why can't we win this time around?
Hmm. Where you have the likes of the North Africans, we have Algeria, we
We
have
were all there in the last
Morocco,
edition.
they host.
We all of us participated in the
And we
last
have the
edition,
Pharaoh boys, Egypt. That would lead us
bro.
into talking about their talisman, Mohamed Salah. In the past couple of weeks now, he's not been having it so good, especially when it comes to donning the red of Liverpool. I mean, he's been in the news for all the terrible reasons in the past couple of weeks. The disagreement with Arne Slot over playing time for the 3 consecutive games. Mohamed Salah saw no action at all for Liverpool. And after the last one against Leeds United, a 3-0 draw, he came out to the media and granted one bombshell and explosive interview saying, I think someone actually wants me out in this club. I mean, what do you think of the relationship and how Salah has been treated by Liverpool over the past couple of
Liverpool
weeks?
fans, first of all, let me apologize for what I want to say.
You want to?
I don't want to sound like Jamie Carragher,
Okay.
but for analysts, for football pundits, I think most people will come from the angle that Jamie Carragher came from. No player is above the club. No matter how big you are as a footballer, you are not bigger than the club.
It sounded so disrespectful in pushing out those words. I get you.
Not
Jamie
even, not even,
Carragher
not even,
sounded
not even those words.
so
Okay, you mean
condescending.
Jamie
Yes.
Carragher?
Yes, Carragher.
That's why I apologized at first. Like Liverpool fans, I'm apologizing again. But I don't want to sound like Jamie Carragher. But for Mohamed Salah to have granted that interview, the outburst is uncalled for. It's uncalled for.
So you think it was the right choice of somebody thing to do for Mohamed Salah, granting the interview?
I said the interview is uncalled for. I mean, Mohamed Salah interview is
okay.
uncalled for. You are a player under this manager. You should respect the manager.
The club.
You should respect the badge that you represent the club. I think him coming out to say all this, there are big players in big clubs and players can feel big. But then
when you look at it, you begin to think that no player should be bigger than the club.
If situations like this happens, I think the way the club handles it comes to play as well. The way Liverpool has been handling this also, I think I think it's good enough.
You call that good enough?
Yeah. I think it's good enough because giving the manager the liberty to do.
The club actually agreed to drop Mohamed Salah with the manager. The club agreed with the manager to drop Mohamed Salah for the trip to Italy.
They have to agree with the manager. I think agreeing with the manager is giving the manager the key.
So is that what you call you liking the way Liverpool has treated the case so far? Because to me,
do you expect Salah to travel with Liverpool to Italy?
Mohamed Salah,
after the outburst, you expect him to travel. You expect the manager to take him.
Mohamed Salah, putting yourself in his shoes is just like every other human who's thinking he's offered so much. He's earned that respect over the years. Not with words of the mouth, but with actions on the pitch of play.
PFA Player of the Year last
season.
So
to have been treated in such manner, I mean, we are all humans. I mean, the fact that he's a well-known player.
Let me tell you something.
Doesn't mean he shouldn't act as human as he is.
Let me tell you something. I think I can justify Mohamed Salah outburst if Liverpool has been doing well and he's been kept on the bench. Like, I should be part of this too. At least we're doing well. The team is struggling. Not only Mohamed Salah has been dropped, several players, there are games that Florian Wirtz has started from the bench. Ekitike has started from the bench. Even Isaac, there are games he has started from the bench. There are games he didn't even eventually came on at the end of the game. So for the manager, this is a phase where he has to try every possible things out to make sure Liverpool is back on track. And if dropping Salah is part of his experiment to try out how things will work for the team, I think the coach has rights to do that. So the only time I can justify the Mohamed Salah outburst is, the team is doing well. They've been winning games 3-0, 4-1, 5-0, and he's on the bench. Now we can ask questions. Why am I not part of this? At least we're doing well, but the team is not doing well. So the burden of the team not doing well is on the shoulder of the manager, and finding solution to the team not doing well is the manager's problem. So if you feel Mohamed Salah sit on the bench, let me find a solution, or okay, this is part of the solution I'm trying to look out for. I think the coach is right to drop any player on the team, any player, no matter how big you are.
As things are presently now, one would doubt if there is a way back for Mohamed Salah with Liverpool.
I think there should be a way back. I think there should be a way back.
Very soon it's going to be departing for the Egyptian national team.
I think there should be a way back. The whole situation, the way Liverpool handles it, and it's just a statement to players that they're backing the manager, and whatever the manager's decision is, so be it. But however, I think there will be some behind closed door meeting with Arne Slot, Liverpool's management, because I've been the one giving it to Liverpool's management with the way they've been handling things with players for the past years. Their recruitment process, the way they handle players' contract. I've been giving kudos to them. So I expect them to iron this out with Mohamed Salah and a Slot, and kind of like have a conversation between these two individuals, like, oh, you are still very much part of this project, just that we are going through the patch at the moment, and the manager is looking for a way out and trying, experimenting and doing this, doing that. You are still part of this. I think if there is that assurance from Mohamed Salah and coming out from the management, and Slot being part of the closed door meeting and giving Mohamed Salah assurance and reassurance that, oh, you're still part of this project and we believe in you, I think they can still iron this out, and it's not totally end of relationship between Mohamed Salah and Slot and Liverpool management.
Well, I want to believe it was indeed a very messy situation, one that might actually mean that Mohamed Salah might have just played his last game for Liverpool, especially as the winter transfer approaches. And he's going to be departing in a couple of days to Egypt to play the African Cup of Nations. And what we have next is the winter transfer in January. So
I can't wait for winter transfer to come.
to see everything that
my club is suffering. We need midfielders.
Everything that will transpire. You see, well, before we go, let's quickly talk about Xabi Alonso. I mean, the Real Madrid jobs looks as though it's like a big burden on him. I mean, he's actually a manager who is still growing. Of course, you won't put him amongst the elites when it comes to managing, but then.
He won the Invisible League. You can call him an elite coach.
No, I think regardless of what he did at Leverkusen, you won't call him an elite manager.
Well, I would disagree with you that.
Why would you disagree?
He won the league.
He won the
Invisible League.
He won the German
Bundesliga.
Okay.
Without losing a game.
Okay.
That's an elite performance, bro.
Elite performance.
Yeah. but look.
Okay.
His present situation now with Real Madrid. I think
just won 8 out of the last 10 games.
I think
he's won 2 out of the last 10 games. Sorry for that.
I think for Alonso, is the architect of his own misfortune.
How?
Thank you. As a manager, new manager, you're coming to a club. You have a philosophy that you are well known with, and arriving at the club, you dropped your philosophy to suit players.
Are you really being sincere with this you've just said now?
Check record. Whenever managers drop their philosophy to suit players, it doesn't end well with the manager. The manager gets the stick at the end of the day. You have to stick with your philosophy. You have to stick with your plan.
Just like Ruben Amorim.
Forget Ruben Amorim. forget about Ruben Amorim. See, Madrid, you cannot tell me Madrid doesn't have player to play the 3-4-3 formation of Alonso that he won the Invisible League with. You cannot tell me Madrid doesn't have players to play that. I saw Madrid Man City game, and I'm asking question: what has Alonso been teaching these guys? They are not marking well. They are not running well. The intensity is not there for them. When they are defending, there is no cohesion in this team. And this is what Alonso is known for, the cohesion in his team. So that makes me wonder: are these players bigger for Alonso to manage? There's a situation that happened. There was a game that Vinicius was substituted. Madrid was winning. and he had to substitute Vinicius, and he brought on Rodrigo that has been on the
Yeah.
bench for major part of this season. And Vinicius was
Flared up
hungry.
and yeah.
He left the pitch angrily to the dressing room, came back. In fact, before he came back to the bench, maybe after like a minute or 2 minutes, that kind of body language shouldn't be welcome in the team. You are giving players power over you. I expect Vinicius to be punished for that single action. He wasn't punished. He started the next game, and that's a wrong signal to players. So, and you could see it in Madrid players, their body language, the energy that they bring to the game. If you want to win game,
I would agree with you when you say that maybe, just maybe, Sabi Alonso isn't top enough to handle the ego of players.
it's not even about
he
being
has
top enough.
there.
I think it's just about him. I don't know what to call it, but
Yes, when you're not capable
maybe I
of
should call it a wrong calculation on his side. I
wrong
feel
calculation.
I feel he's capable. I feel he's disciplined enough to be able to discipline these players. But then let me overlook this. Let me overlook that.
But you
That's
know
where
the
the problem
part,
starts
the part
for most
I
managers.
beg to differ on what you actually said is for a manager not to deviate on his known philosophy. I want to believe that one of the hallmark of a top manager, of a top coach, is when your dynamism, when you're being dynamic, once you're not just a one-way traffic, like we're saying with some other managers.
It's not about being one-way traffic. It's about holding up to what you believe in.
It's another flex entirely as a manager when you know that regardless of the team you walk into,
For years,
regardless of your
for years,
philosophy,
Pep Guardiola,
once you walk into anything,
Pep Guardiola
you will be
philosophy
able
is
to mold them
tiki-taka.
according to what you want to do.
MJ, for years, Pep Guardiola philosophy is tiki-taka. He did it with Barcelona.
So how about now?
He went to Bayern Munich. He did it with Bayern Munich. He's doing it with Man City. He repeats the league on everybody's head with tiki-taka in the Premier League. And that's a statement that if you stay with what you believe in, just stick with it.
But how about now?
How about now?
He's changed. He no longer plays tiki-taka.
Hence,
he got Donnarumma.
He plays tiki-taka ball, not in a way of the way. See, if you are talking of dynamism,
Okay.
you can bring in different approach to your game.
Exactly my point. You don't
But-
just say, okay, because I play 3-4-3, then all my life as a manager I have to stick to that.
How many
Even
time has Alonso played 3-4-3 with Real Madrid since he got the job?
That's my point. I mean, he doesn't have to play the 3-4-3 is known for, the one he thrived on at Leverkusen, at Real Madrid.
He doesn't have to. But that's his success metric. If you are going to measure Alonso's success, you measure it based on the 3-4-3 philosophy.
He's the manager. He sees these guys more than we do. He trains with them.
I'm of the opinion that if Alonso continues this way, not going back to his philosophy that we know him for, he'll keep struggling with Madrid, and he will struggle to the sacking.
Well, it remains how many games left for us to see Xabi Alonso play or oversee for Real Madrid before he receives the stick. I want to believe that at some point this season he might be able to turn the tide around and maybe start getting results.
Maybe if he go back to his philosophy, I will
Without
die
that,
on this hill that he has to go back to his known
for him
philosophy.
to start getting results.
Exactly.
That's what you think.
That's my opinion. That's not why. That's what I believe in. That if Alonso wants to succeed as Real Madrid manager, he has to go back to what works for him in Leverkusen.
So what is presently playing now, you think that
even
would never work?
It will never work.
Wow.
It will never work.
Wow.
It
Okay.
won't.
Well,
Trust me.
it remains to be seen if eventually it changes to the 3-4-3 formation, and maybe he eventually thrives with Real Madrid, at least to salvage the season as it is now. Is 5 point adrift of leaders Barcelona, with third place Villarreal. I mean, just 2 points shy of Real Madrid. So it's looking as though Real Madrid might still end up being thrown to the third position at some point before January. Well, let's see how Xabi Alonso handles that before the winter transfer, or maybe after the
What you
winter
want to do for
transfer.
winter transfer
I mean,
again?
there's a lot to be done. I mean,
What
except for Madrid, Madrid as a
what Madrid
whole,
won't do
I
for
think
transfer window again?
Madrid are not this club
Unless
who actually goes
unless they are
out.
ready to let go of some of their big names like Rodrigo,
Yeah, yeah, I get the point.
maybe one or two of their midfielders,
Chomeni,
Chomelin,
Edward Camavinga.
Kamavinga, Ceballos. If they are not ready to sell,
You know,
they,
it's really difficult
what
to
are they buying
predict.
again?
It's difficult to predict. What I actually meant by the summer,
Who do
the
they even want
winter
to buy?
transfer
Who they
window,
want to buy?
there are players out there. A lot of them. A lot of quality players without the name.
Oh, yeah, okay. Let me put this question to you.
Okay.
In Madrid's team, where do you think the problem is?
You know, I think there is a lot of problems aside from the players now.
So, what are the problems?
Well, that I might not be able to lay my hands on now, but I think there's still something tactically with the team. You won't tell me Madrid don't have the players.
Yeah, we are literally saying the same thing. So Alonso doesn't have to wait for the winter transfer window to be able to turn
So,
things around for Real
okay, you
Madrid.
think if they are not changing the players
Go
now,
back to your philosophy.
the coach is the one to be changed. Well, let's see what transpires in the coming weeks, especially for Xabi Alonso right there at Real Madrid. All right, football fans, that's the beat we will be able to have on today's installment of the Football Gazette podcast. Until some other time, when we get back here once again, do stay good and safe. Peace out.